which common human practice would, if it weren't so normal, be very strange. Burying dead people in caskets with their best clothes on. I'm weirded out by this every time I ride by a graveyard. There are literally hundreds of people under the ground right over there, skeletons dressed up like James Bond and Grace Kelly. I'm getting buried with my top hat on. Now you have to find me a 7-meter coffin. Keeping our dead in pretty parks in the middle of our communities. Graveyards used to be treated like parks and social gathering points. Then they all became haunted. Keeping animals as pets. I keep several large and small sources of metabolic energy around my house. For emergencies, you mean? No, I just like having them around. Well, this one isn't that weird with history. Dogs make kick-ass trainable employees. Cats are a natural anti-vermin method. The weird concept is why we'd find creatures of another species cute and treat them like family members, even when they no longer serve any utility. Drinking water to stay alive. I feel as if everyone is so calm about the fact that we need to obsessively consume this liquid for our entire lives, or we will perish. Every time I am drinking water, I feel like yelling, "I am saving my life right now," and "I almost died, but then I drank this water, and it bought me a little more time." What about breathing? We're constantly sucking in dangerous, highly reactive, poisonous fuel, oxygen, every minute we exist. Huge portions of our biology are dedicated not to using that fuel, but to keeping it sequestered and protecting all of our delicate machinery from that terrifying molecular Godzilla. Also, it can be used in a single reaction that provides power for everything we do. Even better, that reaction is, for all intents and purposes, fire, but a fire that's been carefully divided up, each step of the reaction carefully confined and harnessed for power. That is up until that last step, where those 2 electrons get pulled, screaming, off of that last electron acceptor transporter onto the oxygen atom, along with a couple forlorn, wandering protons, to generate water. The whole process is crazy awesome, and yet strangely absurd. I try to think of this as, what would an alien race think if they looked down on us? I think they would find watching us at concerts, watching fireworks. Lots of people sit in a cramped place and watch something simple for hours on end. Also, snowboarding or skiing. Go down a hill and you can go back up again. Skiing and snowboarding only look strange in context because physics suck and you can't have potential energy at the bottom of the hill to go back up. If gravity would just learn to play along, we could ski and snowboard in both directions, and then I would be convinced that the universe was intelligently designed. Cheese. Oh, hey, this juice that this animal just squirted out of its tits? We're gonna let it rot for a couple of weeks or months or even years, and then you're gonna eat the soft bacterial mess that's left. Many historians actually consider cheese a technology that humans had to develop. After the spread of agriculture, adult humans were almost entirely lactose intolerant, and milk, human and goat, was only fed to children. Cheese, being easier to digest, became a solution for maintaining and transporting the easily spoiled and hard-to-digest milk, which farmers could make in abundance. Some of the first cheeses traded through the Mediterranean were similar to feta cheese, as early peoples hungered for anything rich and stimulating. I can't find it anywhere else, so I'll just say it. Laughing. Laughing! Why would we laugh at something that is bizarre or unexpected? And blushing. What? Why? Why do I blush? For what inexplicable joy do we blush? Also, hey, isn't there a relevant Calvin and Hobbes comic for the laughing bit? I read something about laughter developing as a signal that everything's okay. As in, OMG, the bushes are rustling, it's a predator. Oh, it's just Dave. What a silly idiot. Yawning. If no one ever yawned and you were hanging out with a bunch of people and one of them just yawned, I think everyone would be extremely confused. I just yawned. Gathering together and screaming at strangers trying to do something with a ball on a television. And screaming at how terrible they are, as if we could do so much better. All the while, stuffing ourselves with chips and salsa while slouching on the couch. Shaking hands. If we hadn't set up that physical contact was a way to get around people's uncomfortableness when meeting new people, it would look very strange. Hello, new person. Let me touch your appendage and move it around. Then we can exchange pleasantries. I thought it was a tacit way of saying, I am unarmed. Let us begin talking sans bloodlust. Sleeping. Definitely sleeping. Hey, Bob, what were you just doing there? Oh, that. I fell unconscious, had vivid hallucinations, and then had severe amnesia about the whole experience. That's weird. No, I do it every night, and lose a third of my life to it. And withdrawing from it will assuredly kill you. Sleep? Not even once. Saying God bless you to strangers after they've sneezed. My assumption is that it began in the medieval, perhaps earlier times, when we obviously didn't have as great science. So when someone sneezed, these people didn't know the cause, and assumed your body was trying to get a spirit or demon to leave your body. People would then comment, God bless you, in hopes that he would cure you of your demons. I probably made all of this up, but it sounds plausible. Marriage. I mean, I'm sure it's nice and all, but to me, it's a creepy concept. Basically, hey, let's keep hanging out and having fun with each other, and only each other forever. Promise me that. Promise me that to a priest and a judge. Forever. It's not that odd, really. You want to be sure that your offspring will be raised in the best possible environment, and that's with a supportive and caring family. You also want to have the best possible mate, and when you found them, why would you move on to another? Small talk. Why word vomit to fill time? Most people aren't comfortable with just quietly waiting with someone, I guess. I don't know why, though. Because talking brings people together as a community. Even if you don't know them, it makes people feel closer to society as a whole to chat to someone. Exchanging flowers. We give people amputated plant genitals because we enjoy the way they look and smell, and then we decorate our houses with them until they dry up. We even put them in water to keep them juicy for longer. Delightfully barbaric. And loofahs. If I told someone that I was going to wash my body with the bones of their children, I'd be put on a list. Tragically, the loofah plant, lacking both appendages and the capacity for language, are incapable of making lists. Plants, man. We do some weird things with plants. I find it odd and frankly quite ridiculous that professional athletes get paid millions and millions of dollars to essentially work out, stay healthy, and play children's games. And then, on top of that, there's a whole subgroup of people that get rich off of talking about people playing children's games all day. I meant that I find it odd that millions of people glorify sports as much as they do. Obviously, if people pay money, then the money is going somewhere. The paper trail isn't the part that's hard to understand there, wise ass. Why is all of the money going to the players? Why can't pro athletes make $500K a year instead of $30 million a year? Why does someone with a criminal record get to make $10 million a year to toss a goddamn ball, when we could supply a whole third world city with clean water for a year with the earnings from overpriced beverages, food, merch, etc.? I can't be the only person that finds this absurd. Is it really that hard to understand, or am I just going to get nitpicked again? Also, the sheer devotion to sports. Sport fans can be absolutely crazy, painting themselves the same colors as their team, who are in reality a bunch of people they will never meet or interact with, and getting into brawls with people from opposing teams like they personally did them a great injustice for simply barracking for a different group of people in different colors, playing a children's game. There is so much glory attached to being a professional sports player. In reality, you smash your body up and have terrible arthritis in most joints at 30. Driving. You mean you propel yourself around in a massive hunk of plastic and steel, and one little mistake could cost your life and/or the lives of many others? And you say it's your main form of transportation? No, it's fine. We'll paint a line to separate you from the people driving directly at you by a few inches. Many substances we consume on a regular basis would have likely been outlawed immediately were they invented now. Chocolate, caffeine, alcohol. I doubt any of those would be seen in any more positive light than most other drugs were they to be introduced only now. Just out of interest, why do you think chocolate would be banned? Cocoa, or more specifically theobromine, is a stimulant. Humans are fairly okay with it, though eating chocolate has a very noticeable effect. Increased heart rate, increase in brain activity. Most animals handle it far worse. Theobromine has a very low toxicity threshold for dogs and cats, and is easily fatal for dogs. Horses are far more susceptible to the stimulating effects. Chocolate is actually a banned substance in horse racing due to this. Chocolate is not a heavy stimulant, but would never make it through testing. Lifting weights is another weird one. Not just casual lifting, but making it a huge part of your life. I've been lifting pretty religiously for a few years now, but every once in a while I stop and take a look at what I'm doing. I pay $50 a month to go into a big room with heavy objects and lift some up and put some down repeatedly, day after day, so my muscles show through my skin. Then I go home and eat protein like an idiot, so I can do it all again tomorrow. Damn,